we did get an announcement for the Switch 2 today, and one unexpected super fan showed up.
Hey! 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 Now that's my game! Drag X Drive? It's a wheelchair cripple game!
There you go. So we finally understand what the new
Rocket
lights
League
are
with
for.
wheelchairs, what we've always wanted.
So I just want to. Someone in Japan thought it would be a great idea to use these to simulate the wheelchair motion. So you have to illustrate this. You're sitting down and putting these things either in front of you or beside you, as though you are in a wheelchair.
I don't know. I think this is cool. I think this is what video games are for.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
better than like falling down the stairs in order to like become one with the wheelchair.
Well, that's just what I appreciate about Ricky's thing is that like it would be one thing to have it like the wheelchair moves around and the character just automatically does the motion of doing that, but you yourself now have to simulate being in a wheelchair, and
it would be more hilarious.
I don't know.
More hilarious if the person who was actually in a wheelchair couldn't simulate being in the wheelchair via the game graphics.
Yeah, right.
That's right. So like, yeah, they have some reason why they can't put stuff on the front of their lap and stuff. So, oh man,
not recommended for actual crippled people.
Yeah, hand rests required. Arm rests required. But yeah, it made me laugh when Ricky came across my my feed today with that one. That was great. That was probably the best reaction to the Switch 2 I had seen yet.
I gotta be honest with you guys. Like, I'm not like big on like the handheld games. I haven't been in quite a while. Just to show you, like, my last handheld game that I enjoyed was the Game Boy Color, and I know that was like 1,000 years ago. But even when they were moving to like the Game Boy Advance, I was like, yeah, this is too modern for me. I don't really care like too much. And now it's like you're basically just playing like console game graphics in your handheld, and I feel like that kind of takes away from like the experience. It's like a little too advanced. Like, I kind of liked it back in the day where it was, you know, kind of what was the name, geometrical and dated in a sense. It's like, no, because if I want a VR game, I'll get a VR game. It's like I don't think that's the platform that I want in a handheld.
The race to realism. You know, it's what's killed the Western market, in my opinion, as far as video games go, is that everybody just wants to make like a real life simulator. And
somebody, I think it had to have been like CD. Remember when CES was a thing? Remember? Back in the day, somebody tried to, I think it was like 2007, and clearly didn't end very well. Tried to make a simulator when Modern Warfare was popular, and it was like, oh yeah, here we have a simulated bulletproof vest where you can wear during your game. Where
the haptic feedback suit.
Exactly right. You get shot in the game, and it feels like you're getting shot in real life. And then, yeah, right.
Well, I remember because that haptic feedback suit was went around the internet. It was on Gizmodo because haptic feedback suit was immediately replicated at the convention that year. That year, they were demoing the haptic feedback sensation suit, is what they were calling it, I think. And two people were standing at opposite ends of the booth, touching themselves, and the other person was like feeling it.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Medically, it caused a multitude of issues because, like, you're not actually getting shot, but it's hard to convince your body that you're not actually getting shot. So your body reacts.
You're still getting like that force.
As if you're actually taking fire, which applies to a lot of like flight and fight responses and people who have undiagnosed medical issues. Probably not the best thing for them.
Yeah, what psychopath is like, I'm not feeling the rigor of war here. You know, it's what?
I want to experience what it feels like to be hiding in the grass and have somebody stand over me and shoot me 30 times as I die.
Me with a dull knife, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like, what is this? The other thing is like they're wearing like these unicorn costumes or dressed up as Nicki Minaj with these pink rifles and stuff, and you know the guy that's all decked out with all that stuff is the one wearing the haptic feedback suit. To your point, though, Nerdigans, if they produced a regular old Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge that was with the you come with all. Think about the memory storage we have now. So you can own all of the GameCube library on your little card. You can own all of the N64 library on your card. Now, wouldn't that be a nice? Remember those old wallets for the Nintendo DS cartridges? That would be a beautiful wallet. You get it all danced up with all those characters, Super Smash Brothers style, so they're like fighting each other on the wallet, but it's for each generation of console. So the wallet has like it'd be great. They could make so much money doing that. And think about how happy collectors would be to have that whole display right there. Nice clamshell case. It opens up with art on the inside. All those cartridges displayed nicely right in there. They're various colors corresponding to the console they came from. Like a green see-through little game cartridge with the N64 logo on it.
Yeah.
You want that as a necklace. You'd want to walk around like, yeah, I got that right here, you know?
Well, like I was thinking more so on the lines of like virtual console, because I had games that I bought off of virtual console, and you could just have them on your memory card and like move it into like different Wii systems and stuff like that. And if you lost it, then it's all connected to your account, so you could re-download it. That's what I was hoping they would kind of do with this game key concept, is for those that don't want to pay the monthly fee for Nintendo Online, like I don't, and would like to have a physical copy of the game, they could do that instead. And I think it would just, and I know a lot of people are like me, where they like having, I've been collecting physical media since, gaming started, or when I got my first console. I like having a physical release of the game. And that's another reason why I don't want Nintendo Online. I'm not paying a monthly service to play games that I could probably get somewhere else.
Because when you're playing your Nintendo games, don't you just want to see a naked, sweaty, hairy man down in the corner while you're playing your games?
They had this on the Wii U.
They brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it back.
So for Nintendo, they're actually smart about it. You have to be friends only. You cannot just go into a random lobby and start chatting or video chatting or any of that fun stuff. So
yeah, we don't need another chat roulette situation. Yeah, because this could have been a total chat roulette.
Well, especially because like Nintendo is the kids' console. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So the other thing about this is that you and your friends can travel around the Mario Kart world together. Meaning you don't have to play races. You can just drive around and explore and have fun in the Mario Kart world doing the mini games outside of doing mini games rather. Outside of that, the thing that bothers me about this is that the microphone can pick you up across the room. And I'm like, what does Nintendo need to know? What does Nintendo need to know?
I mean, that's just, to be fair, that's like every microphone is that strong nowadays.
Yeah, it is. And that it just freaked me out. It was
but why, Spencer? The question is why?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like,
I don't know. Pick a fucking conspiracy. Maybe they're harvesting our DNA through 5G waves. I don't fucking know, but that's just how it is.
Fun. That's fun. Like your Nintendo is copying your DNA every time you turn your camera on and play with your friends. That's
but not just anybody's, but like the elite players. That's what it's doing.
That's right, because they're going to clone you to take over the Mario Kart Championship for Japan.
To take over the esports at the Olympics. Total cultural victory.
They're competing with the Steam Deck. That's what I believe they're competing against, because the HDMI information came out about it. They gave a big rundown. This is what Pirate Nation's about. He's into this hardware shit. I don't really know what it means, but thankfully somebody in the comments explained. The HDMI plug on the Switch 2, as according to what the stats were put out on it, it's set to do 120 frames per second, meaning it's supposed to do, hardcore gamer stuff. And I don't know. It seems like that's what their line is they want to take on the Steam deck.
But they've already failed at that. They've come out of the gate. If that is what they're trying to do, they failed at that. Their console is $100 more for lesser hardware. And yeah, you get the Nintendo market. But for example, like I look at this and if you go, do you want a Steam Deck or do you want the Switch 2? I immediately go, I want the Steam Deck, because I can actually play things over there. It's actually got the power. So like this isn't a competition against the Steam Deck at all. And if that's what they were trying for, they've messed up.
Well, the other thing, though, the other thing, real quick, that I want to mention in regards to the game keys, what some people have been telling me is that the game keys, the purpose of them is so that more third-party content can come onto the Switch too, because they were
that
having
doesn't affect it.
That's what this is just what I've heard through the grapevine.
I understand that, but I'm trying to correct you right here and let everybody else hear. That's not how that works. Like you have to go get a license through Nintendo anyway, and they have to approve your game. They're going to put it on the eShop. You don't just sideload over. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm sorry. You said you had to get a license through Nintendo, and I just started laughing internally.
In Britain, that's how you get your driver's license, through Nintendo.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
You have to get Sakurai's permission to drive in England.
But yeah, like to me, this is going to be cool because, you know, Nintendo's finally going to be able to develop on a powerful system that's at least, you know, on par with at least what we have now. That's great, but I'm not seeing a reason to pick this up at launch. I'm not seeing anything that's making me go, I need this. I don't see anything here that's particularly innovative. Honestly, the coolest thing to me was that wheelchair game, because that's actually giving you something to do with the unique controllers of the Switch. It's a different video game style that we haven't seen. And if that's the best we have, again, like, I'll get this when it's like on super discount at Costco in 20 years. I'm fine with that.
Well, and you know, this is why I say it has a lot to offer, is because for that reason, that it's built to house more than the Switch was. It is, in my opinion, it is intended to compete with the Steam Deck. And you're right that it has a limited library, but I believe in Nintendo's mind, Steam Deck plus Nintendo's library is gold. Because again, they rightfully are the. When you see a Nintendo product, you know that 9/10 out of the time your family's going to be okay with you playing it. 9/10 of the time. Right now we're watching a Soulsborne trailer. That's going to be the 9th time, if you will. So, but most of the time people will pick up a Nintendo product. So if you're comparing the capability of the Steam Deck with the Switch too, I think that's Nintendo's play, is like, you and your family can have access to the Steam Deck. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to aim for. I can't understand why else
I don't
this.
see, if we're talking about like casual audiences and families like that, I don't think the Steam Deck even comes into the conversation. To me, if we're talking that area, this is the next Nintendo thing, and we're giving you, you know, it's time to get more powerful hardware because the Switch is
that because the Steam Deck is more for the hardcores?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're a family member and you're going out there, you're not going to know anything about Steam Deck. You're just going to be like, what do I grab? And that is 100% Nintendo's strength, right? You go, what's the easy console to grab? Oh, you could get, you know, PlayStation and Xbox and then have to like decide between what exclusives, or you could just go for like Nintendo and get all of those. And then to your point, Cider, that's where they go, oh, well, I know Nintendo is, you know, Mario, Zelda, those will at least be on there. So let's go for that. So like to me, they exist in two different areas. I don't really know if they're going to have a lot of overlap because of what Jacob said. Yeah, it's like one's for the casuals, one's for the hardcore gamers. Of course, there will be lots of overlap. I know lots of people here in the audience. I'm going to get one eventually, but yeah, I think the demographics are two different things.